My name is Sally Koerner, and I am an assistant professor here. I am a community ecologist, and I focus really on how communities, in particular plant communities, are responding to global change drivers. I love working here at UNCG. I'm in my second year, and already I've fallen in love with a lot of things about this place. In particularly, we have an incredibly diverse student body, and the perspectives and the life experiences that they bring into my classroom, that they bring into my research program, make it a more fulfilling learning environment. On top of that, they also make me think outside of the box and how I can teach a certain subject or how I even do my research. They bring new ideas and new enthusiasm, and I think it makes my research program a stronger place. The biology department has a really diverse faculty that cover a lot of different aspects of biology, ranging all the way from genes up to ecosystem processes. And I think having that breadth, having all of those different tools that the different faculty members bring to our department make for a really engaging environment and a really broad perspective on some of the great challenges that we're facing. And all of these different tools that the biology department has through its faculty can help us come up with integrative problem solving that potentially you wouldn't be able to do in a more focused or smaller biology department. I think that's a real strength of what we have in terms of our research, but also in the way that we educate our students. The biology department is constantly changing. I've only been here for 2 years, and in that time, 4 new professors have come behind me. So it's a really exciting time in the biology department. This semester, I'm teaching global change ecology. So we're really looking at and exploring together as a class what kind of changes we've already seen in the planet, in our climate, due to humans. We're talking about everything from microbes in the soil all the way up to how humans sleep at night. And obviously that ties in very closely with my research as a global change and climate change ecologist. Additionally, I'm also developing with my colleagues a cure. This is a course-based undergraduate research experience. And this cure is really based around the longleaf pine savanna ecosystem. A lot of people in North Carolina are not familiar with this ecosystem, but it used to cover almost 2/3 of our state. And humans really utilize this ecosystem. Some people say that this pine tree is the one that built the South. We cut it down to build our homes. It's great timber. It was also used, the turpentine from it was used in the naval stores industry. But sadly, because of those great uses, only 3% of this ecosystem remains. So the students are actually looking at this system and how climate change might influence our potential to restore the system. So the students are actually taking the dominant grass species that lives underneath the pine trees, and they've planted them in the greenhouse. And then after a couple weeks, we're going to take half of the plants and simulate a heat wave. So North Carolina is predicted to have increased frequency of heat waves. So something that used to happen once every 20 years is now going to happen about once every 2 to 3 years. So we're really changing the environment in which we are going to try to replant this whole ecosystem. And so it's a great experience for the students. They go from planting the plants, they conduct the whole experiment, they collect data all semester long, and then at the end of the semester they present on their results. And one of our goals is to get every biology major to have had a real authentic research experience. And the only way we can reach that many students is to do it through our courses. The great thing about a cure as well is that it's actually data that we desperately need in the ecological field. So this data will then be taken, and my lab, the biodiversity lab here at UNCG, the graduate students and I are going to write up the data that the undergraduates are collecting over the semester, and that'll be published and talked about at scientific meetings, and we'll get it out to the restoration practitioners to help inform what they need to do to alter their practices moving forward. So most of the work that I do actually doesn't happen in a lab setting. Most of what we do is traipsing around North Carolina, looking at intact plant communities. What we do in the lab is we bring back plant materials that we've collected, and then we process them. We also do a lot of work in a greenhouse setting. We have a great teaching greenhouse here, and it's a wonderful way to get students involved without ever having to walk too far away from the classroom. So I spend my days as a researcher, as an educator, and really as a problem solver in all aspects of what I do. It's a very diverse day, it's a very fun day, and it keeps me on my toes.